You've been there, lying on the floor, powering through another set of crunches. You feel the burn, the strain in your abs, and you think, this has to be working. I'm targeting the fat right here. You picture a flatter stomach, the result of all this focused effort. You finish your set, exhausted but hopeful, only to look in the mirror weeks later and see, well, not much of a change. The frustration is real. You've put in the work, so why aren't you seeing the results you want? This exact scenario plays out in countless ways. Maybe for you, it's not crunches. Maybe it's endless tricep extensions to fight the dreaded chicken wings, or hundreds of leg lifts to slim down your thighs. The core belief is the same. If you work a specific muscle, you can magically melt away the layer of fat sitting on top of it. This seductive idea has a name: spot reduction. And let's be honest, it makes intuitive sense. It feels logical. Our brains love simple, cause and effect solutions. This is the promise sold to us for decades. It's in the headlines of fitness magazines promising 5 minutes to flat abs. It's the entire business model of those late-night infomercials selling bizarre abdominal gadgets. And today, it's all over social media, with influencers demonstrating their secret exercise to burn belly fat or tone their inner thighs. The message is everywhere. Target the problem area and you will fix it. But what if this entire premise is wrong? What if all those crunches, leg lifts, and arm extensions are doing virtually nothing to burn fat from those specific areas? Well, I'm here to tell you, with the full backing of decades of scientific research, that spot reduction is one of the most pervasive and persistent myths in the entire fitness industry. It simply does not work the way we've been told. But this video isn't just about telling you what work. It's about empowering you with the truth so you can finally start training effectively. Today we are going on a deep dive. First, we'll unravel the actual science of fat loss. We'll explore how your body metabolizes fat for energy, a fascinating process involving hormones and your circulatory system that explains why you can't choose where the fat comes from. We'll look at the key studies that have debunked spot reduction time and time again. Then, we'll investigate the psychology and marketing that keep this myth alive. Why is it so compelling? And how have companies profited from this misinformation for so long? Finally, and most importantly, we'll lay out a clear, evidence-based blueprint for what works. We'll discuss the principles of creating a sustainable calorie deficit, the types of exercise like high-intensity interval training and compound strength movements that are scientifically proven to maximize overall fat burn, and how to build a holistic plan that includes nutrition, recovery, and consistency. It's time to stop wasting your time and energy on strategies that are destined to fail. It's time to train smarter, not just harder. So if you're ready to leave the myths behind and learn the truth about achieving real, sustainable fat loss, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. The idea: train a muscle. Burn fat in that exact spot. Examples: sit-ups for abs, tricep dips for arm fat, squats for thigh fat. Sounds logical, but the human body doesn't work this way. We've all been there, staring in the mirror, wondering why those hundreds of crunches aren't melting away the fat on our stomach, or why endless leg lifts aren't slimming our thighs. It's the alluring promise of spot reduction, the idea that you can target and burn fat from a specific part of your body. But what does the science actually say? For decades, researchers have put this very question to the test, and the verdict is overwhelmingly clear. Fat loss is a systemic process, not a local one. This means your body doesn't just pull energy from the fat cells located next to the muscles you're working. Instead, it draws from its total energy reserves, spread all across your body. Let's break down the evidence. A landmark 2013 study from the University of Connecticut provides a perfect example. Researchers had participants perform thousands upon thousands of sit-ups over a 6-week period. They weren't just casually exercising, this was a dedicated high-volume abdominal training program. Before and after the study, the scientists used precise tools to measure the participants' body composition, including the thickness of the fat layer on their abdomen. The result? While the participants' abdominal muscles became significantly stronger and more endured, the amount of belly fat they had remained virtually unchanged. The muscle got a great workout, but the fat sitting on top of it simply didn't get the memo. This study powerfully demonstrated that you can't just crunch away belly fat. This isn't an isolated finding. Think about professional tennis players. They use one arm far more intensely than the other for their entire career, resulting in one arm being significantly more muscular. Yet, studies measuring the subcutaneous fat on both arms find that the layer of fat is almost perfectly symmetrical. If spot reduction were real, Their dominant arm should be significantly leaner, but it isn't. The muscle is bigger, but the fat distribution is the same. A clever 2015 Danish study took this concept even further. Researchers had participants train only a single leg for 12 weeks, leaving the other leg completely untrained to act as a control. They performed hundreds of repetitions of leg extensions on a machine, an intense workout focused exclusively on one limb. The expectation, based on the spot reduction theory, would be significant fat loss in the trained leg. But that's not what happened. While there was some fat loss in the trained leg, the most significant finding was that fat loss occurred all over the body. In the arms, the torso, and even in the completely untrained leg. The body simply mobilized fat from its general stores to fuel the exercise. So, why does this happen? It comes down to our fundamental physiology. When you exercise, your muscles demand energy. In response, your brain and adrenal glands release hormones like adrenaline and noradrenaline into your bloodstream. These hormones are the messengers that tell your body to start burning fuel. Crucially, they travel throughout your circulatory system. They don't have a GPS to navigate only to the area you're working out. These hormones bind to receptors on fat cells, called adipocytes, which are located all over your body. This binding triggers a process called lipolysis, the breakdown of stored fat into free fatty acids. These fatty acids are then released from the fat cells, from your belly, your arms, your legs, everywhere, into the bloodstream. From there, your circulatory system transports this energy-rich fuel to the muscles that need it. Your body operates on a systemic supply and demand basis, not a local delivery service. It sends out a general call for energy and all fat stores are put on notice to contribute. People feel their muscles burning. Assume fat is melting right there. Marketing by magazines and products. Get rid of belly fat with this one exercise. Visible pump after training, skin tightens. Looks like fat is gone, but it's temporary. Calorie deficit is the foundation. Combine resistance training, preserve muscle, plus cardio, burn calories, nutrition, protein intake, whole foods, sustainable diet. Sleep and stress management also influence fat loss. Direct spot reduction? No. But you can improve muscle tone in specific areas. Train abs, stronger, more defined core when body fat drops. Train arms. Leaner look once fat is reduced. In other words, training shapes the muscle, diet reveals it. Doing endless crunches for abs, no visible fat loss. Avoiding weights because of the bulky myth, losing muscle instead. Ignoring nutrition, training hard, but eating in a surplus. Expecting fast results. Fat loss is gradual, not overnight. Aim for 3-4 resistance workouts per week. Add 2-3 cardio sessions, moderate or HIIT. Create a small sustainable calorie deficit, 300-500 kcal day. Track progress in weeks, not days. Focus on body recomposition, muscle plus fat loss, not just the scale. So, let's bring it all home with the single most important takeaway from this entire video. Spot reduction is, and always will be, a myth. You absolutely cannot choose where your body burns fat. We've journeyed deep into the science, and we've seen that when you exercise, your body mobilizes energy from fat stores all over your body, not just from the area you're working. Think of your body's fat stores as a single shared bank account. When you need energy, your brain and hormones act as the bank manager, making withdrawals from various locations based on a predetermined plan. Your genetics. You can't just walk up to the teller and say, "I'd only like to withdraw from the belly fat fund today, please." For some, fat comes off the face and arms first. For others, the hips and thighs are the last to slim down. This genetic blueprint is unique to you. It's a frustrating truth, especially when we're constantly bombarded with marketing that preys on our insecurities. Companies selling ab-blasting gadgets, thigh-slimming creams, and targeted workout plans profit from this confusion. They often equate the feeling of muscle fatigue, that burn, with the process of fat loss. But as we've learned, feeling a burn in your abs simply means you're fatiguing your abdominal muscles. It has no direct impact on the layer of subcutaneous fat that sits on top of them. But here is the empowering part. While you can't control you lose fat, you have absolute control over you lose fat. The frustration of chasing a myth can now be replaced with the focus of a proven, scientific strategy. It all comes down to the 3 pillars of effective, sustainable body composition change: intelligent training, mindful nutrition, and unwavering consistency. First, intelligent training. This means prioritizing compound strength exercises that recruit multiple large muscle groups. Think squats, deadlifts, overhead presses, and rows. These movements are metabolic powerhouses. They burn a significant number of calories during the workout, and more importantly, they build lean muscle mass. The more muscle you carry, the higher your resting metabolic rate, meaning your body becomes a more efficient calorie-burning machine, 24/7. Complement this with strategic cardiovascular exercise to create a larger calorie deficit and improve your heart health. Second, mindful nutrition. You simply cannot out-train a poor diet. The unshakable foundation of all fat loss is a sustainable calorie deficit. This doesn't mean starvation or misery, it means making conscious choices to fuel your body properly. Build your meals around lean protein to support muscle repair and promote satiety. Fill your plate with fiber-rich vegetables to stay full and get vital micronutrients, and include healthy fats to support hormone function. This is about nourishing your body, not depriving it. And the final, most crucial pillar, consistency. This is the magic ingredient that binds everything together. Real lasting results are the sum of small, smart choices made day after day, week after week. There will be days you feel unmotivated. There will be weeks where the scale doesn't budge. This is a normal part of the process. The key is to remain patient, trust the science, and focus on the journey of building habits that will serve you for a lifetime. So stop wasting your precious time, money, and energy chasing shortcuts. You are now armed with the truth. Let that knowledge empower you. Instead of doing another 100 crunches, invest that time in a full-body workout. Instead of buying another useless gadget, invest that money in nutritious food. Train smart, eat right, and let science guide you. Your body will respond, and eventually, the areas you want to slim down will follow. If you're ready to ditch the myths and build your best body based on proven principles, join our community. Subscribe for more science-based fitness truths every single week, and we'll see you in the next video.